I think we're live. We're live, everyone. Yeah, we're live. Okay, I'm sorry, everyone. I'm late. I know. Late American politics. Okay, what happened is I turned off my computer on accident. Don't ask how I accomplished that one, but it happened. And we are here with Mr. John. Say hello.
Hello, hello. It's John Rose, the MAGA wizard guy. I'm here. Hello. Hi.
Welcome. So I think it's just us two today. We might get Luke in here. I don't know yet. Real text it might pull up for a little bit. So, well, yesterday and today have been very eventful. That's one way to look at it. But there's a lot to get to, everyone. Like usual, don't forget to like, subscribe, share with your friends, and of course, join the channel today. These are all great ways to support the daily content. But if you have any questions, concerns, or anything like that, make sure you send super chats via the chat. Again, I'll read through as much chat as possible, but usually super chat's best way your questions answered. Mike for 2, what's up, late American? Are we tired of winning? No, I'm not tired of winning yet. Let's see. Spikes has been a member for 18 months. Republicans will do well in the midterms. R+8 poll. I saw that. I think it was McLaughlin. It was like R+8 or something.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's early, but hey, I'm not saying it's gonna happen, but it's not a guarantee Republicans lose the House. That's what I want to say. I'm not predicting that's going to happen, but we just got to see what happens. All right. So we do got breaking news. So apparently the White House is preparing an executive order to abolish the Federal Department of Education. Interesting. So this is breaking within minutes of the stream starting. I've always had this take on the Department of Education where it's like, could we just keep it, but reform it? Like, I know the department's garbage, but, well, like, John, what's your thoughts on the whole, oh yeah, let's get rid of the Department of Education to be done with it? Because I'm kind of mixed on it a little bit. Because this is breaking, like, now. It sounds like they're gonna get rid of it today.
Well, I hold the really standard opinion most people do, where you just look at the standards, and we had incredibly high education standards before it started, and then they always dropped as it kept going, and anything the Department of Education imposes upon the state systems and county, the district schools and everything, it just ends up being kind of useless. If we want to give the state education systems money and we want to audit the money, I think you can do that through a very different mechanism. And obviously, if you ever like the whole problem right now is that with education, we just keep pumping more and more and more money into the system, and it never ends up actually at the children. We don't end up actually we spend a ridiculous amount per pupil theoretically, but it doesn't ever end up producing good fruits in the actual system. So my whole opinion, federal government sucks at this. If we wanted to, if we need more money for specific school systems and specific poorer states or whatever, let's find a way to funnel money to them. Let's find a way to make sure the money is spent well if they use federal funding. Otherwise, just get the federal government out of it. Like, some people may like the Federal Department of Education if it was imposing the ideas and thoughts that maybe you guys in the chat like, or that you like rap, or anybody else. And my simple response to that is just simply, the federal government is always going to have isolated interests separate from what we actually want. The lower the government system is that you are managing, the closer it's going to be to actually what you want. So, like, the state of Alabama is going to have a lot better of more compatibility with what I want to happen in education than the federal government ever will. Same with the state of Florida, Texas, et cetera, et cetera. And I think people are just happier that way. I think people are happier having control over what their schools teach in a state system. So the liberal states get to have all of the horrible ideological nonsense in their schools, and then the conservative states get to have all of what they want to put in their systems. I think it's just let the states take care of it. It doesn't make any sense for the department to continue existing, honestly.
Yeah. So I think that's actually the best way to put it. Again, I
Yeah.
understand the idea, like, some people are concerned, like, oh, well, we need a Department of Education, to keep up standards, but it's like, the standards were better beforehand. What has this
Yeah.
department done that's been positive in, what, 50 years? Has it been 50 years? Right?
Yep. since Jimmy Carter, and
Jeez.
I know somebody brought up the fact that Reagan promised to end it and inevitably ended up keeping it, just because I don't think he felt he was going to be able to. I don't actually know the reasoning behind Reagan choosing not to end the Department of
Well, it's
Education, but
Reagan. That's why.
well, yeah, at the end of the day, it just seems like this nonsensical thing we've had around for decades. Look, listen, we've been having a lot of conversations because of Elon Musk, like sticking his fingers into the federal pie. He's already said that we have like $750 billion in fraud in the federal
Yeah.
government. And that overall waste spending is like 15% of the total. Like, so like there's at least $1 trillion of the government's budget that's just waste, and then another 750 billion on top of it that's fraud. Like, if we just like let the federal government do basic functions, defense, national security, and like basic enforcement of laws across the board, and make sure states treat each other well and they handle trade, I think that's a way better. Uh, it's way better for them to handle just those things and minimal things outside of that than it is for them to handle all of this other crap. And just get rid of the
Agree.
Department of Education.
All right. K Cub for 5. Which is more false? Rap turned the computer off, or the Susan Crawford ad I saw where it labeled her as the common sense judge we need? You decide. It's the Susan Crawford thing. I literally turned off my computer in accident. All right. I don't know how I just bumped into it, and then I somehow hit the power button. All right. American Nerd for 5. Could Trump get rid of the Department of Education by executive order? I thought that is an act of Congress to do it. Also, whether departments should go. Well, Trump's gonna just gut it, where it does nothing. That's what he's gonna do. It's like, it's gonna probably technically exist, but it's gonna be just neutered. So, it's not really a department then. So, all right, Kyle Beckman for 20. While I think that the Department of Education is bad generally, the Individual Education Program, IEP, for special needs kids creates a legal contract between the school and the child/parents to ensure the school follows their plan. Well, I understand there's some parts they should keep, maybe, but the department's just worthless. So, even that, I'm assuming the states would control that to make sure that, oh, wait, yeah, they're actually making sure, like, kids with special needs are actually being treated well. So,
Yeah, no, I mean, it's again, like if you want all this ancillary stuff, as long as it, depending on how much of a waste it is, I'm okay with it. But it's like, if you want to have like national standards for taking care of an actually necessary protected category, not like being a certain skin color, liking a certain body part of another human being, but like if you actually like have a disability, or like you're genuinely one of the needy of our country that we are morally obligated to care for, I don't care if the federal government helps take care of you. We can keep the IEP if you want. I don't really care.
yeah, I agree. I agree. All right. General Hydra for 2026 midterm is going to be a sad day for the Democrat Party, and RFK hearing for the Department of Health and Human Services, and the FBI new director, Tulsi Gabbard, hearing as well. Yeah, all three are getting through. All three of them are being confirmed. Because I think Todd Young is a yes now on Tulsi, so that kind of seals the deal on that one. So yeah, it looks like all three get through. Now, I think they're going to vote on the rest later this week. So, yeah. American Nerd for 2. Reagan had Democrat-controlled Congress at the time. Yeah, but Trump is proving that you don't really need Congress to do stuff. Like,
you can just do things.
yeah, you can just, like, again, like, that's always been the philosophy of the Republicans. They failed to understand. You can use the government's power to do stuff. I mean, it's just common sense.
Why don't we just abolish the government?
Oh, gosh. Real. All right.
Wise words from Mega Mao, everyone.
Mega Mao, oh, God. Lord Ronald for 5. Bush's No Child Left Behind policy has also been a disaster. Well, yeah, I mean, that's like saying,
Child left behind. I know that's...
Child left behind. Well, that's what it is.
People always use that meme on Twitter. It's Bush announcing "No Child Left Behind," but they cut out the "no."
Yeah, without
so
the
it's just
no.
a child left behind.
Well, I mean, you're right.
Hey, what's up?
Oh, hello, Tubbs.
Wait, Tubbs, were you a child left behind?
I was not a child left behind. Don't worry about it.
All right. American Nerd for 3. Interior, Energy, and EPA into one department. I agree with that. I don't get why we need like 3 different agencies for that stuff. It just seems like all kind of the same thing. Like, obviously, it's a little bit different with energy and stuff, but why is there 3 different departments for, like, the same
Well,
thing?
one of the points that Musk had made while he was on the campaign trail helping Trump was essentially that we had hundreds of departments in the federal government that all seemed to like either be duplicate functions or redundancies or like there probably is a lot of condensing we can do. I agree with that.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I just think it's common sense. It's like Interior and EPA are like this, and Energy even. They're all the same thing. Just combine all 3 of them. Be done with it. I know
Oh
it's a
yeah,
little bit
Raph,
different.
you might get another Hilario cameo today. No
Oh, epic.
promises.
All right,
Yeah.
Anonymous for 5. Rap Cho needs to stop. It's too much winning. I just can't take it anymore. That's real. Jenner Hydra for 5. Oh wait, is the 2026 midterms correct? Yes, it is 2026. That's gonna be a sad day for the Democrats. Yeah, Democrats could be trouble. And we got breaking news, everyone. This is broke. The United States has begun flying migrants who enter the country illegally to Guantanamo Bay.
Based.
MAGA United.
Oh, I love it. Yeah, it's the first time I think ever that we're using Guantanamo Bay for.
Never mind. Hilario's not gonna be at the office till later.
Damn.
So you won't get a Hilario cameo. I'll tell him you're interested in doing.
Yeah, we gotta do.
it.
I gotta talk to Mark with America First Insight about that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Guantanamo Bay is getting illegal migrants now.
Gitmo is back.
Yeah, we are so back.
The Gitmo is back, baby.
I love the fact they're celebrating Gitmo coming back. Well, I mean, it's a good day.
No,
I mean,
it's actually useful now. It's actually going to be
it's
useful.
like instead of torturing like suspected terrorists, we're torture. Oh wait, I should say that. I should say that.
We're peacefully housing migrants in a safe and beautiful location.
Oh my gosh, it's beautiful. And on top of that, El Salvador, they announced a pretty big deal. So Marco Rubio, by the way, can we just all agree that he's one of the top Secretary of States we've had in a long time?
Oh, for sure. He's the best since Kissinger, I'd say.
Oh, I would agree. Kissinger was
I agree
solid.
with him. I agree with him a lot. I think he did some stupid stuff, like he was trying to do that moral grandstand on Venezuela, where he's like, "We're gonna meet with the real president."
Yeah,
and
but that was 5 years. That was like 5 years ago.
Wait,
no, he did.
Wait,
No, he said that.
I'm deeply confused. Why are you upset about him talking about meeting the real president? What?
Well, no, he didn't want to meet Maduro because he ran the last election, but then
Honest,
Rick
Maduro
won.
sucks, and I mean, I'm not saying we should like.
If you want to fix migration, you got to talk with Maduro. I'm sorry.
No, I agree, unfortunately, but ideally we would not have Maduro anywhere near power. But unfortunately,
I'm just saying you're not going to do a coup. It's not the 70s anymore.
yeah, I know. I wish we could do a coup like a certain country in 1973, but yeah, probably not.
I'm glad we got Rick Grinnell though to like just meet with Maduro and get a deal.
American Nerd for 5. Rampant John, if the Department of Education is guttered to be non-existent, then what exactly is Linda McMahon going to be doing as secretary? I think she was just like a figurehead or whatever. It was just
she has like 3 pounds of crystal meth.
Yeah, basically.
And she's going to be just smoking out on the counter. No. I mean, Linda's, I think her primary use is just to oversee the decline of it. I think in multiple letterings, they were said, well, Linda, she's going to do a great job, but if she truly does a great job, then she will have no job by the time she's done. I think that's like a direct,
that basically
almost a
means
quote.
that that's what they know. It's just get rid of it. So.
Yeah.
All right. K-Cup for 5. Conservative school. This event took place on Easter. Liberal school. This event took place on Trans Visibility Day. Yeah. Anari for 5. U.S. education.
What is dark woke? Can we talk after the?
I don't know. I heard something about that, and
woke.
when I first heard that, I just listen. I wanted to leave.
Wait. Is this being said by liberals or is it being said by boomer?
Yeah, it's being said by liberals. It's like they're like, we're gonna not be nice about it. We're gonna talk about trans rights again. That's basically what they're saying.
These idiots haven't learned a damn thing. All right, Inari for 5. U.S. education's been trashed for a while. The gay/gender cringe just makes it worse. Well, yeah, that's. I mean, when you're not, I think that's kind of what sealed the deal. When like you're not getting results with the students, but you're more focused on freaking like gender crap. That's what kind of sealed it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so speaking of Central America, we have to talk about the president of El Salvador did. Listen, this guy is just a legend. I have no
He's an
clue.
American. He's a Salvadorian American patriot.
I don't
you
know
know?
how
He really
else.
is the Latino Lee Kuan Yew.
Oh yeah, I agree with that. He doesn't piss around. But for those that don't know, Marco Rubio went down to El Salvador yesterday, I think. Yeah, yesterday, right? Or was that 2 days ago?
Yeah.
I confess, I had no idea who Lee Kuan Yew was until I looked him up because your name was Lee Kuan Yew fan.
Yeah,
Like-
no, he was a very good leader. He is a little, and I know it's ironic. He's a little like over. Like people like to say we need an American Lee Kuan Yew when that wouldn't work here.
We need an
because America
American
isn't in
Milo
Southeast
Demon.
Asia, but
I will die
yeah, he's
on
a
that.
great leader.
But yeah,
We
so
need an
need an
American,
American
Milo
Trump.
Demon.
we need,
We
yeah,
need an
Yeah, we
American
need
Trump.
American Trump. You know, we need American
We
Trump.
Yes.
need, every country needs their own version of Trump.
I
Yeah.
know, and the Czech Republic has Babis. Germany has no one yet. England has Farage. Italy has Berlusconi. Well, he's dead, so now they need a new one.
And,
Yeah.
one of the funniest things about like Central South America recently was when the president of Colombia did that giant rant that made his government collapse, right? In the rant, he accuses Donald Trump of not being a true American
Who?
because his mom's the president of Colombia, the really the dumbass guy.
Oh
you know,
yeah,
like
yeah,
the-
that guy.
That guy was
Yeah, yeah.
less cooperative with Trump than Maduro was.
Well, yeah, like his
Petro-
government, his Congress got so pissed off at him that they basically broke and seceded from the coalition that they had formed with his government. So he effectively, through like being an asshat, destroyed his government coalition. But the thing that I wanted to say about him was that he's like, well, I have true American blood. Colombia is the true free America, bro. I follow the tradition of libertarian Abraham Lincoln and all of your peasant white and black boys in America. And he keeps going on like that. But the thing that made me laugh was because he's like a pure Colombian, he's like, well, you're the dirty immigrant, Donald Trump. Your mother was Scottish. Your grandfather was Bavarian. You
That's
dirty migrant.
That's so stupid because aren't like Colombians have like a lot of like fairly recent. I would bet you that Gustavo Petrov is like at least half Spanish, probably a quarter Italian, and less than a quarter Native American. Like that guy is not the guy. I'm not saying he's like quote unquote white, but he's not a freaking like mestizo or an Indio.
Yeah, I just find it funny that the like, why is it always like these he's an unironic socialist. It's always the socialist leaders in Central America, like the dumbest people. Like they're always the dumbest leaders in Central South America.
Yeah.
They always are.
Latin American leftists are some of the most obnoxious people in the world. Like they are absolutely insane. Even a lot of like from Spain proper, not Latin America. Even a lot of Spanish leftists are absolutely insane. I don't know what it is about that part of the world that makes their communists and left wingers so like distasteful, but there is something going on in Spain and Latin America with their left wingers.
But yeah, so for those that don't know, Rubio met with Bucol, and they agreed that I don't know why he agreed to this, by the way. I gotta figure that out. But he basically said, okay, we'll take your convicted criminals, including convicted U.S. citizens, to their mega prisons.
Yep.
So it says you get a fee out of this. I just gotta know why are they gonna accept this? Like
Free labor.
Oh, I guess I guess you're right, because they need people to mine the Bitcoin.
Well, like if you look at like the criminals that they have there, they have programs for the less evil people that they have in prison to like become useful members of society again, and they're doing labor, they're learning skills, they're learning how to do construction work, they're learning how to do all this. I'm assuming whatever like prisoners or immigrants or whoever horrible we send over there, they're probably just going to be slave labor for Bukele. And I think that's fine. I think it was paying a small fee for him to have slaves. Look, the whole thing, this is the whole thing, right? Slavery is everywhere in the world today. It's just tucked away from your visage. And we were bringing slavery back into America through illegal immigration. It was taxpayer subsidized slavery that they were trying to facilitate in this country through the cooperation of corrupt mayors and governors and everything else. Now we're like, okay, well, look, you came to America because you wanted to be a slave. You wanted to work $5 in a stupid strawberry field. Well, guess what? You're going to do the same thing, but you're going to do it in a maximum security prison for Bukele and make El Salvador great again because we don't want you.
Let's make El Salvador great again. But it's like, this is how, like, El Salvador, they showed the world how you deal with these people. It took, what, 5 years? It took 5 years to become one of those dangerous countries on earth and one of the safest. I mean, and now he's like, what is it, like 95% approval or something?
Oh yeah, yeah. No, he's pretty high, like in terms of all of the countries. We had that chart up yesterday. I think it was in Luke's stream, but if I can find it again, it was like, I think Bukele was pretty high if he was listed on there. Let me see here.
It's just like that.
Yeah, dude, Trump is the 5th most popular one I know.
Yeah, I find that hilarious that Trump is like, and his numbers are going up, I think. If I'm not mistaken, his numbers are actually going up.
Yeah.
Well, and it's like, and now I.
And that was in Morning Compost of all polls. Yeah.
So don't listen to what Ipsos has to say. Ipsos are full of shit. They're like -5, but it's like Emerson's like -4 in like freaking New York. It's like, yeah, sure, buddy, sure. But yeah, it's like, I mean, just Marco Rubio. I mean, has he? What other words are you got to say other than perfect? He's been the best Secretary of Defense or Secretary of State since what's his name? We just mentioned it 2 minutes ago.
Kissinger.
Yeah, Kissinger. Yeah,
Henry Kissinger.
yeah.
Henry Kissinger had some W takes, but some not W takes. But I like to see him.
He was a very interesting guy. He was alive until
I'm a big fan of Realpolitik, though. I will say
he was alive until like late 2023, and he was still like giving interviews in 2023.
He was still going to China and meeting with Xi.
Yeah. I kind of wish he was a bit younger so we could see. I love to hear his takes on Marco Rubio.
They loved him in China, though. He was like God to the Chinese. It was insane.
Well, the thing with Rubio is like, what I think makes Rubio so effective is, first, he's the first Secretary of State that knows foreign policy in like 50 years. Because the other asshats, they knew nothing. I don't know why we appointed some of these people. They clearly had no clue what they were doing. They just got appointed there because who freaking knows? But Rubio knows what he's doing.
Have you seen the new Cope rap? LeBron James 2028. It's in general.
What?
The fact someone spent time making this.
Oh my gosh, what is this? The assist America needs. Someone actually spent time making this. So some poor soul. Whatever. What? Oh yeah, LeBron James wins Wisconsin by 4. Bullshit! Bullshit! Spikes for 2. I deleted the message. Thanks for super chat.
How's it going, Spikes? Spikes is a patriot. He was part of Your Country on Rapcraft.
Yeah. So, okay, when it comes to, but yeah, Marco Rubio, what I think also helps is, like, people don't want to deal with Trump. They're terrified to work with, actually deal with Trump because you don't know what he's going to do. So what I think's happening is, like, these leaders are like, oh, yes, Rubio, we'll give you whatever you want. We'll give you whatever you want. Just please, tell the Orange Man not to attack us.
Bro, why is that incredulous papist calling me anti-Semitic remarks and saying that I'm not serious because I don't support Catholic monarchy?
Okay, anyways, we're not starting a religious shitfest. But I can if you want.
I'm not. I just respectfully think that we shouldn't take stuff from the Vatican. The Vatican shouldn't be influencing politics. Because, like, the entire point of the Congress shall make no establishment of religion is to prevent institutions like the Vatican basically writing the U.S. laws. I don't think that's a net positive.
That was never the intention of the First Amendment.
That was the intention.
No, the intention was that the state
one of the founders, if they'd want a foreign religious institution writing the laws of the country, they would have all said no.
No, Luke, the whole point of the First Amendment...
What do you think, John Rose? You're the intellectual.
Well, when Thomas Jefferson established the concept of separation of church and state, it was for a specific group of constituents. He was speaking to Baptists who were concerned and wanted religious protections in their area. and he wanted to placate, and he wanted to reassure those people that being in a union is a good idea and being a member of a state's a good idea. And so obviously all of these people in Congress, they went to church. A lot of them were Episcopal / Anglican. They all gathered together and they all had chaplains that informed the way that they would speak. And of course, the chaplains still exist today. So obviously, religious influence on policy was never necessarily something that was like precluded, and that's a disgusting historical revision that's happened as a result of a couple of court cases, as well as just general bad public information. But the one thing Jefferson really wanted to ensure with separation of church and state was the simple guarantee that, religious authority would not be imposed over religious minorities to prevent them from conducting their worship practices, and that they could still be represented in government in spite of being a religious minority in whatever state that they were a part of. I think that was the important part.
Yeah, I'm just like the First Amendment. It just means that the state can't like develop its own religion and like can't persecute other religions.
The idea of the Vatican deciding laws the U.S. can or can't pass.
What do you mean the Vatican's deciding the laws? What do you mean?
Well, no,
that part I'm confused by.
Because this is what I was talking about. I was talking about people like Al Carbo who talk about how we should put Catholic liturgy over the Constitution when making laws. And which is some.
I mean,
what do you mean? I mean, you're not an American nationalist. Then you're in.
How?
You support a European type of position. Like
no, the Catholic religion is global, bruh.
It's global, yes, but the Constitution should be influencing U.S. law, not the Catholic theology. I'm sorry, like that is what it deliberately says.
My religious values influence my policy.
Yeah, but if religious values conflict with the Constitution, it shouldn't be inputted, which includes making like a state religion.
I never said make a state religion.
I'm not talking. Okay, let's just not talk about this. Let's just keep talking about whatever.
All right, American Earth for 2. If the Dems do this, Vance will win a landslide. Yeah, that's real. K-Cup for 2. Wisconsin was writing Giannis before voting LeBron. Well, yeah, I mean, like, what these idiots understand is no one's going to vote for LeBron. No one's going to. Polite Rude Guy for 2. The entire Catholic faith is a scam. No, it's not. American Earth for 3. Pilgrims came here because of the Church of England. Well, yeah, basically.
Oh, so you have two different separations. Look, you have to understand there's the origin of the country, that's the Massachusetts Bay Colony, but that actually came a decade after the Virginia first. There's actually a beautiful documentary up on Abbeville Institute's YouTube channel called Virginia First, the 1609 project. I would absolutely go look at that because you have two different sets of people that essentially establish the colonial life in America. The Massachusetts Bay Colony absolutely were sets of disparate religious people trying to create cities on a hill, trying to reach the perfection of what they thought their denomination was supposed to do. But if you talk about like the stock of America, Virginia, which was actually there before the Massachusetts Bay Colony, those were traditional people bringing their customs, their beliefs, and doing basically everything they were doing over in Britain, just in Virginia. And Virginia was just an economic project to them. And you see a beautiful outgrowing of that. They don't have a genuine opposition to Anglicanism. And as you see like the South grow, you see a lot of like mildly warm feelings towards Catholicism as well, because they just live and let live. And it has to do with like their political affiliations too. But you understand it's like it was a lot less of running away from Catholicism or running away from Anglican tyranny in Britain, and it was more so just continuing what they were doing in Europe over here. And so I really think it's an important conversation to have. What's the true founding of our country? And you have to find some balance between those two settler groups, the Puritans and the planters. We have to talk about
it. I am not anti-Catholic by any means.
It kind of sounds like it.
I look, this goes for any religion. I don't think evangelicals should be like pushing like their religion through politics either. I don't think any religion should be doing it.
but for most
You
people,
know,
like,
I literally just helped run a campaign against a schizophrenic Hindu nationalist who hates Christians and shit like this. It's not because I hate Christianity or I hate Catholicism. It's because I just think that we should have a secular country, at
that
least
was
when it comes
never
to lawmaking.
that was never the intention, Luke, of America. It was not supposed to be.
Can we just not debate? Like, let's talk about the news. You know, that's
All right, whatever. All right, so we do got okay. I just saw a tweet and I gotta confirm this is real, but apparently, people look more into the USAID funds, and apparently, we're giving the BBC like money, I guess.
damn. Those BBC bills are so bad in England. They're transporting to America now. That's crazy.
Yeah.
No,
So
if you
it
guys
looks.
don't know, if you guys don't know the lore with the UK, if you guys don't know the lore in the UK, basically what happens is if you don't, like, everyone who owns a TV needs to pay this fee to the BBC, and it's not paid for by taxes. They will like make you pay it, and if you don't pay it, they'll send a person to your house. So if you forget to pay it, like, a guy from the BBC will like come to your house and like ask for the money.
Oh my gosh. But yeah, we are one of the biggest donors to the BBC.
Oh.
Oh,
That's
my-
ridiculous. The BBC is a propaganda organization. The only good thing to come out of the BBC in the last 25 years is the TV show Top Gear, the Jeremy Clarkson one.
The what?
So we're
The show Top Gear, that was actually the part of the BBC for
Wait a
13
minute.
years or so.
Yeah, I just realized that
so we're the people who paid for like the DEI at Doctor Who.
Yes.
That was us.
We killed
that was
crazy.
Doctor Who. We shot him.
We're responsible for all those horrible documentaries and serials. It's set in like medieval Britain where like half of the people are like black or something.
Oh yeah, it's like, yeah, this was a true demographics of Britain in 1512 or whatever. All right, K Cup for 5. On the way in truth and life, no one comes to the Father except through me. Honestly, this should be the focal point of a life. That's W. Minari for 5. People tend to not know Catholics are persecuted in England. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. This looked out.
Well,
I
the funny thing with Inari, the funny thing about that Inari is, like, you know, they give the moniker Bloody to Bloody Mary, and then like you go and you look at like how many Catholics died under Queen Elizabeth, and it's really, I mean, like look,
how many died?
oh, it was unimaginable. I don't have the statistics right in front of me, but there was like infinity more bloodshed under her reign than there was with Bloody Mary. It's just like, this is, you know, history is written by the victors, right? And Protestants won in Britain, and so this is like the, you know, Mary was the evil one, and Elizabeth, you know.
Oh my gosh. All right, play Rue Guy for 2. I vote for people who are Christian, not secular. American Nerd for 5. Jamestown was established in 1607. I grew up in Virginia, and I was taught that Jamestown was a founding place of America. I mean, kind of, a little bit, but
Yes.
Like
No.
John was saying, like, yeah.
No, I mean, like, again, we have different population groups, and if you want to go overdose on this kind of conversation, go read Albion Seed. It's pretty good at explaining the original settler groups in America, but you have the Puritans in the North, which are emblematic of the Massachusetts Bay Colony, and then you have the Virginians. The Virginians came first, and I do agree. I agree that Virginia is what America is supposed to be, and I think actually that the Puritans from the Northeast have a place in America under the model that Virginia was trying to promote. I think that they should just accept that what Virginia was trying to do is what America should be in general, and that can inform what we do in the future. But yeah, no, it's a beautiful thing. Go watch the Abbeville, Virginia project, Virginia First, I believe it's called. That's their documentary on their YouTube channel. It's really good.
All right.
Really good stuff.
So, okay, I do want to talk about the what Musk posted. I think it was yesterday. Yeah, last night. So, obviously, for everyone that doesn't live under a rock, Elon Musk is running Doge, and they're trying to uncover the amount of waste and fraud. I don't think anyone was expecting this. I don't think a single person thought it was this bad. Like, who was, like, honestly, did anyone think it was gonna be, oh yeah, we found $1 trillion of waste in 2 weeks in fraud? Did anyone really think that? I'm just being honest because, like,
it is actually insane. Like, we were funding like transgender operations in like Bulgaria or something. Like, I don't even know if that's real, but that's basically along the lines of what we were funding. What the American government was funding,
yeah,
because and what they were using our taxpayers' money for, for it. So it's insane.
yeah. I mean, we're just giving away our money for this crap. And according to Elon Musk, fraud in the federal government is closer to 10%, so more like 700 billion per year. When you include
Yeah.
waste, it's another trillion. So if I'm reading this properly, that means they're expecting that $2 trillion are from waste and fraud.
It's actually really hilarious. You know, a lot of pundits made fun of Elon Musk saying that, and Vivek saying we could cut 2 trillion from the federal budget, but it looks like it may not be exactly 2 trillion, but we might
Might
actually
be
get really
more.
close.
It might be
If we
more.
rein in fraud and waste, we could get. I mean, from what I'm understanding, it seems like 1.75 billion. That's pretty good. 1.75 trillion. I apologize.
Whoa, hold
But
on. We
yeah,
got
no.
breaking news at Greenland.
Woohoo! What's up?
Let's see here. Yep, okay. Greenland's prime minister has just proposed a general election on March 11th with independence from Denmark and U.S. relations as a top issue. They're in a referendum on independence.
Nice.
And,
But that's what it's a referendum?
yep. We have a okay, Trump, do what Russia supposedly does every election. Oh
Well,
my
we don't
gosh.
have to. We've done
Do what,
polling
like,
over there,
every
and we know
Latin American country, every other
two
Latin.
2/3 of Greenlanders want independence from Denmark, and a solid majority from another poll say that they would favor being aligned with the U.S. over Denmark. And so this is like I mean, really embarrassing for the Danes right now because they had an opportunity to sell us this chunk of land, and it's slipping away.
I think
Now
there's an
we're
independence referendum. It's just an election.
Sorry, excuse me. Sorry, excuse me. But
Well, regardless, if the general people of Greenland decide that they want independence, regardless of whether the election's a referendum or a general election, they've still
I misread
stated.
that.
Denmark has generally stated, "Hey, if you guys want independence, then you can get your independence. We'll sign it off." If that happens, Denmark gets jack from the U.S. government. If we're negotiating with a free Greenland in a year or two, they're not going to get any money from the deal. This was their chance to make money off of selling Greenland to us. So
Yeah,
yeah,
so
really,
it's
really
yeah, I'm sorry.
bad positioning.
I misread it, so it's a general election, but it sounds like it's basically like this will decide the future Greenland. That's what it sounds like.
Yeah.
American Art for 5 is a former fan of Doctor Who. I'm saying what happened to that show. Like, what the F are they doing with it now? They're making Disney look less woke. Well, that's Doctor Who for you. Jet Politics for 2. What did you do as chairman of the Wisconsin GOP? Do what Scott Presser did. Enough said. American Art for 10. John and Rapp, if Richard Montgomery took Quebec in 1775, how would the U.S. handle French Catholics in the U.S. as a state? And how would Canada be in the U.S. at the start affect us? I don't know. That's actually an interesting... They probably want independence. Because they're French Catholics, but...
Well, I think that we would all hate Quebec a lot more than we do right now. And I don't say that, like, I think we would generally leave each other alone through federalism, but you guys know that Quebec, like, drains, what was it, like, $325 billion a year from the federal Canadian government? You know that, right?
Yeah.
It would be
And
one of those like freeloading blue states if it was in the US.
it would be a freeloading blue state, and if they were doing the same crap with Canada that they're doing right now, where they're constantly threatening to secede unless we give them more money, I think everybody would like despise Quebec.
Yeah, we'll just put the military there. Just
Yeah.
Also, yeah, they're known to like do a lot of terrorism too when they don't get their way. That's another thing.
Plyroom guy for 2. Trump should back Israel 100%. Trump 2028. No comment. Enough said. General Hydra for 5. Top Gear and the hosts are legendary for entertainment, the car industry, culture, and the Amazon, the Grand Tour. I don't know what that is.
Yeah, it's you should if you can, you should watch that show. It's pretty funny, even if you're not into cars. It's a great show. Also Clarkson's Farm, but I mean, I grew up watching that show, so I've been kind of ahead on the lore for like 15 years.
Ah. All right. Let's see. So why have they not declared independence? Greenland. Well, because Denmark's a bunch of cowards. So that's what it comes down to. It's just Denmark playing games.
Well, right. But basically, what I'm saying is, if the top issue of this election they're having in March is independence from Denmark, and they decide, yeah, we absolutely, definitely want to be independent from Denmark, like has been stated in their polling, and they begin like engaging in the process of separating themselves from the Denmark government, that's going to be really embarrassing for Denmark. That's what I'm saying. It's like, listen, think about how much money they're losing by just being stupid and not like negotiating with us from the start.
Yeah.
Like, Denmark is going to lose so much money on this. It's really funny.
All right. Let's see. Trump has to get at least Greenland done in hours. I mean, he's gonna get something. Like, I'm wondering like if it's not be annexation, but maybe an economic union, maybe something. Or
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's for sure gonna happen, but anyways. All right, American Nerd for 5. Breaking for Calvin Coolidge project. Doug Collins been confirmed as the new Secretary of Veterans Affairs by the Senate in a 74-21 vote. Okay, so Doug Collins is confirmed. By the way, speaking of confirmations, it looks like RFK is gonna be fine. It looks like McConnell's gonna
Gabbard is too. Gabbard is too.
Cash Patel, they're all gonna make it.
Yeah, Susan Collins came out of nowhere to back Gabbard.
Well, because
that was kind of
freaking
surprising.
she's the only one that's actually like honest. She's not full of shit like some of these people are. But McConnell's gonna vote no on every one of them.
Yeah, Collins is actually a moderate.
Yeah, she's an actual moderate, not like, oh, I'm a moderate, like, what's like a bullshit moderate on the Dems? Shit, I'm trying to think of one. Like, who's like a Democrat that like grandstands as a moderate, but he votes like 98% Democrat all the time.
Oh no, like Chris Coons. Like, he's supposed to be
Yeah,
moderate.
Chris Coons or whatever.
Coons.
Yeah, it's like, I'm a moderate Democrat and I vote against everything. Should we use military force to take Greenland? No. I don't think it's a good idea.
How about we don't invade countries? You know, I like to. I
No,
kind of like,
take over
you know. No, Trump ran as the pro-peace ticket. We should like stick to that. You know.
Well, when you're pro-peace, yeah, but like if the cartels pull something,
We don't need to invade Panama, dude. Like, stop with the
We're
war.
not going to, bro. I'm not actually serious. I'm not actually serious about invading Panama. Panama's already bent the knee. In fact, we basically own the Panama Canal now. So, because I think they're gutting like a bunch of contracts with China right now.
I figured that they have a right-wing populist president who's generally pro-America. So I kind of knew they were gonna cave pretty soon.
Mike for 5. We should offer Greenland. We should offer $50 billion for Greenland. $10 billion to citizens. $10 billion for mining/drilling infrastructure. $30 billion to the government. That's actually a fair deal, I think.
Yeah, what's up?
Hello, Real Texan.
Hello, Real Texan. How you doing? All right.
What's going on in Real Texan?
All right, Polite Rudy Guy for 5. There's a good chance Trump's DOJ lets my lawsuit the ban gay marriage actually win. The ban DOJ trying to.
No, they won't.
Yeah, won't.
You're not getting gay marriage banned. I'm sorry, dude.
Idaho's going to be the best chance of not going to touch that. So.
Yeah. It's not a. It doesn't matter. I don't know why people are so obsessed with it.
I mean,
It's a gay marriage.
the opinion's just a horrific hill to die on.
What?
Oh, sorry.
No, it's like nobody's business. Who cares? Like,
yeah, but it's not
sorry, sorry, I was cutting out. But anyways, I was just saying that regardless of your opinion, that's basically just a horrific hill to die on.
Oh yeah, especially now. Yeah, I agree. All right. Oh yeah. So
I think gay marriage and all that. That's still majority approval.
Yeah, but it's going down slowly. It's going down slowly.
No, it went down. It went from 80% to like 76. Congrats.
Yeah.
Like,
just keep doing that every couple years. 4 to 5%.
I think with gay marriage, I think it's gonna probably stagnate in the 60s. Like, it's not going to become unpopular, but it's not going to become
Well,
like
no, here's what I
because
think.
of the
Yeah, it's never gonna become
because here's what I
unpopular.
think, because of the way some of the LGBT stuff has been going on. It's not going to be as popular as it was in 2019, but we're never going to have like 3 overkill numbers. That's
Well,
just how I see it.
Well, what I think's happening though, I still have a chunk of it is like people that they're never going to publicly admit they're against it. Because there's like a social factor to it. I'm not saying that means there's a majority that are opposed to it, but I think there's a chunk they're just like, oh yeah, we totally support it, but they're full of shit.
Most probably just don't care.
Yeah, that's part of it too. They're just like, yeah, sure, why not? All right. So yeah, I found the tweet here, and apparently, yeah, Panama said to Mole canceling port deal with Hong Kong firm. So basically, they're telling China and Hong Kong to go F themselves. And John, what did you send? What's this about Politico? Wait, what?
Oh yeah, so like Politico was actually I believe they were one of the news outlets that was allowed in the Pentagon that Pete Hegseth just kicked out and replaced with conservative outlets. Now apparently they're having trouble getting paid for the latest pay period. I wonder if this has to do with the USAID freeze. I wonder what's happening to their money. I don't know exactly what it is. I'm not saying what it is, but
let's be honest.
they're having some trouble. They're having some trouble over there.
Listen, with how Democrats are acting, they are in trouble with the USAID stuff. They know they're screwed. That's why they're in a complete panic now. I have never seen them this word. This is words say that abortion.
Yeah, they literally stormed the USAID building. It was insane yesterday.
Yeah, so here's what I think's happening.
I was like, why do they care so much?
Because because
money.
That's
their income.
That's their yeah. Because do you really think they've raised that much money legally? I mean, Project Veritas and what's his name? What's his name?
O'Keefe,
yeah. They literally found like fake donations of these people. It's like, where do you think the money's coming from? It's from these bullshit organizations that get money from USAID.
USAID any fund to BBC.
Yeah, we give money to freaking BBC.
So yeah, I mean, and I know that
BBC too, like basically publicly backs the Labour Party in England, which. Yeah, so it's going to international, like, left-wing liberal parties, too.
Well, right. Think about the global impact of USAID. We've been helping keep in power awful regimes across the world that discriminate against their native populations. We've been helping the radical left win in Europe. We've been and locally, we've basically been offering universal basic income to left-wing political activists through the federal government. Republican taxpayer dollars have been funding radical left-wing activists in every single facet of life. And I used this comparison yesterday, which I think is really useful. Last election cycle, Kamala Harris spent $2 billion, Trump spent a few $100 million. That was the amount of money they spent to try and change who the leader of the free world is. Every year, your federal government spends hundreds of billions of dollars funding radical left-wing ideas, both home and abroad, ensuring the global homo continues spinning across the world. Put that in perspective? Think about it. They spend hundreds of times more than they do to change the leader of the free world, propagating this bullshit across the planet. Think about that.
I mean,
I'm not going to be on here for long, so I do kind of need to get these out of the way. But did you see the tweets that I sent?
Which ones? What?
I sent a Democrat primary poll for Michigan and then a morning consult poll.
Oh, I saw the morning consult one. Yeah, so, oh god, Buttigieg is going to win.
Yeah, so, Buttigieg is going to be the front runner for Democrat primary Michigan.
Also, that morning consult poll was like, I know, didn't they come out and say that it was like, it was an accident? Like, the actual one was like Trump plus favorable plus 13.
Yeah. They said it was an accident.
Yeah, so this one is favorability, not approval. So it's Trump's minus. So it's -2 for Trump and -1 for Vance.
All right, Lord Rhino for 5. I sure hope American Aid wasn't using it the Labor Party elected. Oh, it was.
Oh yeah, 100% it
It
was.
was. I mean, like this USAID stuff. I mean, again, we kind
No,
of knew.
Labor and the Democrats work way closer together than people thought. Like Labor sent canvassers out for Kamala Harris. Don't forget that.
Yeah. So again, like
And I know too, a lot of people say, "Oh, the conservatives deserve to lose to Labor," and it's like, yeah, the conservatives were pretty incompetent, but the conservatives are still the party you want to have in power in the UK. Reform being out of the picture, which it was until the very end, you'd still rather have the conservatives be in than Labour. And something I'll say.
Yeah, so Mike for 5. For the citizens of Greenland, $10 billion split between the 57,000 citizens, the 175,000 per person. A good thank you gift for them for giving us their land. Yeah, that could actually work.
Oh yeah, apparently they're having elections soon.
Yeah,
like
so
federal elections.
Again, I thought it was a referendum, but basically the election, it's going to decide the fate of Greenland. It's not a referendum, but yeah.
Yeah, so I wonder if if USAID was still in power, then they'd probably be funding via anti.
Hey, wait a minute,
American
we have
side.
spare money now. Hey, I got an idea.
Yeah, let's fund the pro-independent or the pro-American side.
Fund the pro-American side. I mean, like, it's for real though. I do think Democrats. There's a reason they're so worried about the USAID stuff. Like, they are actually like deranged about this. Like, they're in a complete panic because that's where their money's coming from. That's where
Act Blue probably gets money from them.
Yeah, Act Blue does. Again, how do you think O'Keefe was able to find those people? These people where do you think the money's coming from? It's coming from illegal organizations getting money from USAID, and that's where the money comes from. They just have to use fake names, fake identities to make it look real. So, Lord Rhino.
All right, I gotta go. But see y'all.
See ya. Lord Rhino for 5. Labor's destroying my country. Please, Trump, save the UK. Hopefully you can.
Here's the issue, though. Trump is like a massive Anglophile, so he really wants to have a good relationship with Starmer. So I wouldn't put in much hope for that.
We shall see.
If Musk was president, like the Dems say he is, there probably would be something done. But Trump seems to like Starmer actually quite a bit. So good luck with that.
Yeah. So honestly, I just wish the king would actually just evolve Parliament already. But can he even do that anymore?
No, he can't.
Damn.
They took it away. They took the literal only check the king had over Parliament away from the king. Crazy how Parliament can do that.
Wow, I did not know that. So they just said, nope, it's ours.
Yep.
You know, this is why I like the fact we have a constitution here, not just like a corrupt parliament.
No, I was told by people we need to abolish the Constitution today.
Yeah. Magic show for 3.5. Globalism sucks and people should think like that. Well, like I said, I actually posted a tweet on this earlier. We've been ran by anti-American globalists for like, what, 70 years now? 50? 60? Honestly, how long do these people run this country for? Anyone have a good guess? Because I don't know. Like, where did this crap really start? Obviously, after World War II.
CIA. Well, yeah. Well, the military-industrial complex has existed since like the end of World War II. As for like the woke, I don't know, for a while. I don't know. Is that how you're going to describe it?
The globalists as a whole, like just the globalists.
Well, I mean, yeah, you could say like it started off as anti-communism globalists, and then kind of like just turned in other stuff. Because like people got to remember, like people are like, oh, I used to like I hate how these people like are like, oh, the CIA used to be great when they did all this, and it's like you realize it's the same thing as it is now. It's just the people you don't like took it over. Like if the system didn't exist in the first place, it wouldn't have happened.
So Lord Rhino, who lives in the UK, he has said the king still has the power to do it. But
okay, so listen, Lord Rhino, listen. I was actually talking to some fellow bongs. That's what we call you. We call you bongs because you have Big Ben, bing bong, bing bong. So I was talking to fellow bongs, and the reason I found out about this was because I was like, well, just abolish Parliament. Get the king to abolish Parliament. Go position King Charles. And they told me, some of your fellow citizens told me you can't, and this is what they told me. They said that if the king wanted to, because of the way that they currently have it arranged, that Parliament literally has to sign on to it. Like the Parliament itself has to promote like some sort of legislative action for the king to abolish it, which means effectively the king can't abolish Parliament. It's like the king has to go up, "Hey Parliament, do I have permission to abolish you?" And then Parliament's like, "No," and then he goes away because
Bro.
why would Parliament abolish itself?
That is
Yeah, so
actually
no.
dumb. That
Yeah,
I mean, that was the one check they had, and now they're cooked. So
no.
K code for 5. When I went to England, I visited a place where they keep the useless wax figures. No, not Madame Tussauds. Max Wax Museum Parliament. Oh gosh. Would you consider Eisenhower JFK globalist? No way.
England, can we just talk about the fact that former Prime Minister Liz Truss is basically a MAGA account now on like her
Yeah.
socials?
Amazing.
Imagine
Boris,
Boris Johnson is to a lesser extent as well, but it's funny.
Yeah,
Sunak's probably gonna go down the road in a few years.
MAGA Richie Sunak.
That's gonna be
Oh my
cursed.
It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen.
So yeah, I don't know. Like, can King Charles do anything, or is he kind of just screwed? He can't do anything.
You can give a
Yeah,
speech like once in a while.
That's my understanding, and obviously we're Americans, so if what I'm saying is wrong, I completely accept and concede that. I'm just telling you what has been relayed to me from other people, because like that was literally my first thought when I saw this like extremely unpopular Labor government. I went up to my Bong friends and I was like, "Bing bong, can you abolish Parliament?" And they're like, "No, it can't happen."
All right.
Very sad.
That's maybe new, but he certainly could do it not long ago. If the king walks in Parliament, he could request the speaker to dissolve Parliament. Parliament. I mean, yeah, but they're gonna say no, probably.
Yeah, the speaker would probably. Wait, is the speaker, was he formerly Labour? Because I know they've got a weird way
I
of
thought
picking
they
the
elected
speaker.
the conservative guy.
UK speaker.
Because that speakership thing's useless, by the way. It's dumb.
No, Lindsay Hoyle. No, I believe it used to be Labour. Yeah, it used to be Labour before 2019. Yeah, they have to renounce all political membership. But like, it's pretty clear he was a Labour guy. He wouldn't. If the Conservatives were the ones in power, he probably would. But not with Labour.
Yeah, we shall see. The speaker's formerly Labour. Okay, I think the guy before. Okay, yeah. All right. Let's see. You're screwed if you need to rely on the so-called king to help you. Well, does the king control the military? Does he?
I mean, I just completely disagree with the premise there. I mean, that's effectively saying like, well, if you have to rely on the president to get anything done in America, you're useless. Look, the executive is the executive. It exists. It has to be there. The monarch has a specific rule, and in a healthy United Kingdom government system, you would have Parliament doing what Parliament does, and then the king kind of there as a check and balance on them. Like that would be a healthy system. And it would be a lot like our system too, but right now they have basically made it so that they have a tyranny of Parliament, and because of the way that they control information in the United Kingdom, it's right now it's a controlled system. It's like it's basically the oligarchs get to choose whatever happens in the UK. So I don't consider it a free representative system. I don't think any of the UK people feel represented by Parliament. It's not a failure of their system if the king has to step in and intervene. It's just like the way that the system was built. It's a constitutional monarchy, moron. Like, what do you think is supposed to happen? Like, that's the point.
But the royal family doesn't do anything, though. That's the thing.
They used to do a lot of things.
They used to, but it's like they've given up on
and
doing anything.
Well, they've given up on anything and everything, and it's part of the crying and bleeding of Europe. And ultimately, they generate revenue for the United Kingdom government right now, but otherwise they're completely useless. And my point is that is not a healthy constitutional monarchical system. That is a deeply unhealthy one. That's why people think that there's no point in there being a monarchy anymore, because they've made it so weak, so useless, and so ineffective at what it's supposed to do that it's like, well, why not just like replace it with a republic? And that's why Republicans exist. And not in the American sense, but there's British Republicans that just want to get rid of the monarchy altogether. And the only reason that class of political people even like remotely exist in the UK is just because of how sad their system has become. I think it's a crisis. I don't think Parliament should ever be able to hold tyranny like that. I mean, like even when we were leaving the British government, like when we were going and doing the revolution, at that time King George still had somewhat of a say over what was going on. Yeah, Parliament was tyrannical, but King George was seen as complicit by the founders in the things that were going on. And so there was at least still like it was imbalanced back then, but there was some semblance of like there being checks on each other, different parts of government checking each other. The fact that that doesn't exist anymore in the UK is a disgrace and a shame. And yeah, no, I mean we should always want each part of government to check the other parts. It's just stupid.
All right, the monarchy either needs more power or Britain should become a republic, which I favor. Yeah, I mean, if you have a monarchy that can't do anything, what's the point? What's the point? So you get some corrupt body like Parliament to control everything? No. No. But yeah, so people in chat are saying that everybody wants reform in the UK. Well,
Yeah.
I mean, it's common sense. Like, if Parliament could just go tell the king to go F himself and he can't do anything, it's like, why? What's the point here? Alright, monarchy is an ideology for cringe LARPers who think they wouldn't be effing serf. Well, no, like, the problem is, like...
Okay, here's the difference. If you support monarchy in the UK, not true. If you support monarchy in the United States, yes, that's a fair point. But I wouldn't say UK monarchists are LARPers, because, like, that's part of their culture and heritage, you know? But in the American sense, yes, people who call for monarchy unironically in America, they deserve all the everything that people will make fun of them for.
I just think it's a ridiculous statement to make because as like right now in the world, I don't know the exact number, but I think about 40 countries across the planet are essentially constitutional monarchies or they're monarchical in some sense. And so it's like just say like, oh, well, it doesn't work. It doesn't work in Japan. It doesn't work in I mean, I think they do it like in like Thailand and like Sweden
I
or like
always
whatever.
forget
Like,
Japan still has a monarchy.
well, like that's the whole thing is that like these systems exist all across the planet, and like it's not a LARP. It's like a fifth of the world governments. Like, are you stupid? Like, I don't get it, dude. I don't mean to keep calling chat stupid. I love you guys, but like, come on, you got to be real about this.
I
It's not a LARP.
understand if they're talking about it in the American context. I agree. Like,
Well,
the
yeah,
people
absolutely. No. Like at the start of the founding, we like had this argument about monarchies, and we were like, listen, we're gonna make a president because we need one for the government to work. But if we're gonna have this constitution work, we need to make sure that he will never become president. And the argument was either we do it this way to make sure the president never becomes a monarch, or we just cut to the chase and just go straight to having a monarch. And that was some Federalists actually were just like, yeah, you know what, if this is going to happen, let's just get over it and just do it. But the other argument, that was not the argument that won. The argument that won in the United States when we built the Constitution was no monarchy. And so yeah, it's a LARP in the US, but like in the world sense, no, that's just a system of government that exists. Just the absolute monarchies are done. That part is true. Like if you're going to be a successful, well-developed nation state in the modern era, absolute monarchy, unless you're a tiny, tiny state, you're not going to get across anywhere just because of the modern conditions. But no, the monarchies that have constitutional restrictions on them are going to continue existing for I don't know, for the foreseeable future, I guess.
All right. Let's see. Edward VIII's reason of monarchy is less power. Oh, isn't it the Nazi one? Isn't Edward VIII the Nazi? Right? I think that's the one that actually like worked with Hitler or whatever, but I don't know for sure. Saudi Arabia is an absolute monarchy. Well, yeah, that's Saudi Arabia. All right. We would have been a monarchy if Washington didn't decline it. Yeah, but he was never going to accept it. That was one of the large. He would have never accepted that. So, yeah. But all right. I think that's it. Right? Did we miss anything?
Did you see John Mills has officially announced he's running for governor of Wisconsin?
Oh, what?
Yeah, John Mills, GOP is his Twitter at.
Is he a good candidate?
Yeah, I'm not sure. He's friends with Orlando Owens, actually.
Oh, well, that's a great sign.
Yeah, look.
But all right, everyone, I think we're going to end the stream here, everybody. If you guys did enjoy, don't forget to like, subscribe, share with your friends, and of course...
He talked about ending DEI in his announcement post on Twitter.
Oh, gosh. But all right, we shall see you guys in the next stream, video, or wherever you see us at. I do think that's it. So, all right. Godspeed to all of you.